Okay. I should have said this more clearly in the previous video, but please notice that when I just had this conversation, when I just was saying what I was saying about Othello, do you see how that's one of the ideas of the play? My students love to talk about what happens to the characters. In their papers, I ask them to compare things, and they often say that what happens to this character is very similar to what happens to this other character. But what I want you to do to make this bigger is to think about metaphor and idea and irony and ideas, and a more advanced summary in terms of, like, say, a psychological kind of analysis, that kind of thing. But it's an idea, what I was saying earlier, that the things that you know that are good in one context, like the military, may not be good in another context, like domestic life. That is an idea. It's one of the ideas of the play. So just when you're writing your papers, don't. I get so many papers that are just like, well, this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens. And I think it's because that's how you're taught to do it in high school, because your teachers want you to prove that you read. I would just like you to read, and then I want you to tell me about the ideas, because I think it's more interesting. It's more interesting than this happens and this happens and this. That's boring. Um, okay. Um, so with that in mind, let's go back in the text, because I like to spend time with the actual text of the thing, and let's take a look at what's going on in that. Okay, cool. Let me make sure my battery pack is on here, charging. Good, looking good. Okay, so he says he needs proof, and so this is when Iago brings out the handkerchief. Again, notice that the sneaky thing about Iago is he doesn't say, I have for sure proof. He just says, I suspect, and he lets Othello's mind do the rest of the work. That's what makes Iago so sneaky. Um, like he even says here, Othello says, "Give me a living reason why she's disloyal. Like, I want to see the proof." He says, "I don't like the office." He says, "I don't want to do that. That seems like a bad idea. But since I have to, right? So I guess I have to tell you because you're my commander or whatever." Like he's reluctant. Of course, he's not reluctant. He's manipulating all of this, but he's reluctant. Um, so Iago tells a story about how Cassio was dreaming of Desdemona, and Othello says, monstrous, monstrous. And then Iago says, no, but it's just a dream, right? Maybe it's not that serious. So one of the things Iago does to appear loyal is to be like, he tells Othello stuff, and he's like, well, that doesn't really prove it exactly. Maybe she's still a good person. But Othello's past thinking she's a good person. Othello's so worried about this, the jealousy has seized his mind. He can only see in terms of what's wrong. I can only imagine the terrible things. Um, he says, and he's ready to kill her. I'll tear her all to pieces, right? He's completely ready to kill her. Um, Iago says, no, don't do that. Just let's be smart about this. Yet we see nothing done, right? We're not sure she's cheating on you. She may be honest yet. She's trying to, the irony here, he's trying to make Othello feel better. Like, dude, maybe she's not cheating on you. When it was Iago was the one that put the idea in his head in the first place. And the moment he says, maybe she's okay. But tell me this, um, have you not sometimes seen a handkerchief spotted with strawberries in your wife's hands? Well, I gave her such a one. It was my first gift. Well, I know not that, but such a handkerchief. I'm sure it was your wife's. I did today see Cassio wipe his beard with. Well, if it be that, and Iago says, well, if it be that, or any that was hers, it speaks against her with the other proofs. So Iago's wife, who is Desdemona's maid, or like waiting woman. It's kind of like a fancy kind of maid. Um, um, she's stolen the handkerchief and given it to her husband Iago, and she doesn't know what Iago's going to do with it. But Iago takes the handkerchief. Um, Iago takes the handkerchief, and he just puts it in Cassio's bedroom. At which point Cassio finds it and starts using it because he doesn't even know where it came from, but he likes it. But you see how even here Iago says, well, if she had, he's like, oh, did you ever see her with the handkerchief? Because that's funny. I saw Cassio with the same handkerchief. And then he says, well, that doesn't prove it, but it'll add to evidence. Um, the fact that Iago is so reluctant to declare Desdemona guilty is what makes him, it seems strange, right? Wouldn't you want to just say, I saw her cheating? But if he says, I saw her cheating, um, what he needs to do is keep Othello's trust. And the way that he keeps the trust is by appearing to be his friend. And the way of appearing to be his friend is saying, dude, I just think she might be cheating on you, but you know what? Let's hope she's not. Like, I hope she's not, and you hope she's not. And, maybe that's the way he's able to maintain the friendship. Because you can imagine somebody saying, hey, your wife's cheating on you. That is going to cause either a fight immediately between the wife and the husband, or between you and the husband, because he's going to be like, how dare you talk about my wife that way? Or he could go to the wife immediately and try to find out the story, and that's going to screw up Iago's whole plan. So he just kind of hints and he suggests. He never comes right out and says it. Okay. If it be that, okay, so then Othello says, oh, he just, once he thinks about this, his mind is really seized. Oh, that the slave had 40,000 lives. One is too poor, too weak for my revenge. Now I do see 'tis true. Look here, Iago. All my fond love thus do I blow to heaven. 'Tis gone. Right? All the love I had for Cassio, for Desdemona, it's gone. And then he does this. Arise, black vengeance, from the hollow hell. Yield up, O love, the crown and hearted throne to tyrannous hate. Swell bosom, and with thy fraught is an aspic tongue, snakes, bites. So he's just like a prayer. Arise, black vengeance, from the hollow hell. Yield up, O love, thy crown and hearted throne to tyrannous hate. So Othello begins sort of praying to sort of like the god of revenge, to come out of hell and join him at this moment. He's completely he really this handkerchief thing has really pushed him over the edge. Again, please notice that the metaphors are pretty simple. Nothing to really blow your mind. Nothing super interesting. Right, but he says, "O love, thy crown and hearted throne to." Yield up, O love, thy crown and hearted throne to tyrannous hate. Right, so love used to have the throne, was king of his life, and now hate will be king of his life, because he has a throne. Swell bosom with thy friend. Oh, be content. And Iago says, sort of, calm down, like, that's enough. Oh, blood, blood, blood. Patience, I say. Your mind perhaps may change. And there it is again. Iago saying maybe it's okay, maybe she's not. You don't have to vow to hell some kind of crazy revenge plan. Maybe she's okay. Maybe it's actually fine. Maybe she's not cheating on you. Maybe she's not a bad person. It's this move, which seems like it would go against his whole plan, to say maybe she's not cheating on you. But that's the sneakiest move of all, because it makes Othello think, Iago's my friend. He's hoping for the best. He wants the best for me. But of course, Othello already believes Desdemona's cheating on him. And Othello can't change. He says, never, Iago. Your mind perhaps may change. Never, Iago. Like to the Pontic sea, whose icy current and compulsive course ne'er feels the retiring ebb, but keeps due on to the Propontic and the Hellespont, even so my bloody thoughts. So it's a metaphor, and he compares his bloody thoughts to he compares his bloody thoughts to the ocean, to the sea itself, because the idea is that the ocean can't change its mind, right? He says my thoughts are like the ocean, because the ocean is you can't talk the ocean out of doing something, right? Iago can talk to Othello and get him to do something, but the ocean doesn't work like that, because Iago doesn't have superpowers. He's not a waterbender. So Othello says, I am now like a force of nature, and I cannot be changed from my course. He wants his revenge, and Iago saying, oh, maybe it's okay, maybe she's not cheating on you, dude. It's too late. Shall ne'er look back, ne'er ebb to humble love. Right, okay. So he's ready to. He wants that wide revenge and swallow them up. He's like the ocean would. It's a metaphor. Just like the ocean would swallow up ships. He wants to. Oh, I'm sorry, I lost track of what I was saying here. Just like the ocean would swallow up ships, he's ready for his revenge to swallow up, to kill Desdemona and Cassio. And it's a big moment in the play that Othello is so kind of thoroughly in Iago's power. Or I think I only have like a little bit left on this video, so I'm going to stop this slightly early and pick it up in the next one for kind of, I don't know, I try to keep something like, I try to get my points to fit into a single video, so it's not just like in the next one I try to like reach a stopping point. So I'll pick this up in the next video.